Okay, greetings everybody. Welcome back to this shortened 4-day week. Hope you all enjoyed the holiday. I don't know what exactly a holiday means when we're in the middle of this kind of lockdown situation, but hope everyone's able to enjoy themselves and is doing well under the circumstances. So this week we are on Unit 19, which is the Northern Renaissance. So you'll recall from last week we were talking about the Italian Renaissance and how Italy, which at that point was kind of a booming peninsula of various city-states that were competing, it travels up north to the Low Countries of Belgium and the Netherlands, to Germany, to France, to England, and it flourishes there. It takes off. Even though it started in Italy, it really takes root there. Now, Northern Europe prior to the Renaissance was a stagnant place. Some of it gets a little overstated at times. There was still learning there. There was still growth. There were still things happening. But in the grand scheme of things, compared to where Southern Europe was starting in the Renaissance compared to the Islamic world, compared to much of Africa, India, China, compared to what was happening in Central and South America, etc. It was not much to speak of. You'll recall, I hope, the barbarian invasion section when we were talking about the fall of the Roman Empire. So what happened in the Dark Ages, where barbarian tribes who were from Germany kind of sack Rome, and they kind of bring it all to a screeching halt. So that's part of what happens. So what changes? One is the growth of cities. When trade expands, so does wealth. And when wealth and trade expand, so do major population centers. And that's really what happens in Northern Europe at this time. It really starts to take off. For one example, the city of Antwerp in Belgium doubles in size during the 15th century twice, which is pretty remarkable. So more growth means more wealth, which means more affluent merchants who want to spend and, quite frankly, flaunt their wealth. So another factor was monarchs in the unified countries of the north, especially France and England, particularly the example of Francis I of France. You'll recall, I hope, that the story of the Renaissance in Italy is the story of competing autonomous city-states. Now, autonomous means another word for like independent, in charge of oneself. So you have these autonomous city-states, which is a totally different arrangement from what we have now with New York or Los Angeles or London or any of these other places. They competed against each other. But in the north, you have monarchs who start to spend money uh, as a matter of national pride. And that kind of changes the calculus. We still see this today. That it should be kind of identifiable. When the movie Parasite won Best Picture a couple months ago at the Oscars, it was the first foreign language film to ever do that, and that was really important to a lot of people in Korea. People do that all over the world. When their soccer team is in the World Cup, they cheer. They're pretty excited about that. Their athletes are playing in the Olympics. They show special interest and they take real pride in that. So that pride generated more enthusiasm from the top. It meant that monarchs wanted to invest the state coffers in art and in literature and so forth.